Peace, peace. This is Anpu with another video on Question Everything. Alright, so in this segment, we're going to talk about alien abduction. Right? I know, most people don't even believe in aliens or any type of life form that's existing, outside of this planet. Right? Um, so basically, there's been many stories. There's been documented information from people about their experiences with alien abduction. And it's always like, and you could go across the world, right, and speak to people and let them tell you their story or their experience. And it's funny how they all have damn near the same experience. So that's something we got to question. Is this something that is it a mental situation where someone's hallucinating, right? But it's kind of weird because we have to question it, like, how is everybody having the same hallucination, right? So that's something we got to question. Alien abduction. I know people done seen a lot of movies dealing with alien abduction, right? So, people don't realize that this information has been going on since ancient times. When you read certain scriptures and certain religions, all speak of a being coming from the outside to here, right? And it's weird how they describe, what they flying on or how they enter into sound. So it kind of makes you think, right? Um, and basically, like my own experience with alien abduction will have to tie into astral traveling. So I have many experiences dealing with this subject. So alien abduction. I mean, we got movies that, like one of my favorites is Dark Skies. Dark Skies is it's a real it's a real trippy movie, you know. And another one is there's many alien abduction movies that's out there that's showing what's happening. The Fourth Kind, when a lady was dealing with hypnosis, you know what I'm saying? Because you tapped into your subconscious mind, and these people was speaking of the event that was going on dealing with extraterrestrials or being abducted, right? So there's many movies out there, there's many books about it, there's many articles about it. There's people around the whole world, speaking about it. It's people that speaks all sorts of languages, people, different cultures, different religions, still have this experience, alien abduction, right? And a lot of people's experience is that they very, they paralyzed, they can't move, they see these beings over them, their vision is kind of blurry. Some experiences, people speak like them blacking in and out, they being operated on. Some of them had sexual experiences with them. Uh, this one man claimed that he had basically his semen extracted from out of him, and it's just many stories that and many experiences that people have with this alien abduction. So it's something we got to question, And like I said, with my experience, I must say, well, I know I feel that I've been abducted. I know it sounds crazy, um, just saying that. But the thing is, you have to question: have you been abducted? Have you ever had experience of someone holding you down, or seeing shadows, or you might think it was just a dream, right? It wasn't real. Some people might have those experiences, or even that feeling of sleep paralysis, and you feel someone in the room. So, with my experiences, like when I actually traveled and into the fourth round, I've seen crafts, right, within these experiences, and it's like I'm not making this up. I don't need to like make people believe what I'm saying to them, because basically my experience is for me, right? But I'm so passionate about it, and I'm grateful to have these phenomenal experiences, so I would love to share it. So this is why I'm doing these videos. Um, but don't take my word for it. Just look up the information real deep, you know, because there's so many different theories out there, right? We have many theories when it comes to alien abduction. Some people say that, also some scientists say that it has to deal with um, the trauma when the baby is being born, right? Because you have the doctors over them, the baby's vision is blurry, and the doctors picking them up and doing things to them, sticking stuff down their throat, and you know, they say that scientists say that it could be a trauma from that, and it replays in your mind like a dream, and then you thinking you having this abduction experience, right? So that's one theory. Um, and many other theories when you go into history, right? When you study the ancient Sumerian text, I mean everybody, I mean if you conscious and you watching this video, you're pretty sure you heard of the Anunnakis and their story, how they came to this planet, they created us. So it could be aliens coming from here, still watching us, right? Because they created us. Now this is the theory when you're dealing with history, right, of the ancient Sumerians and other religions and texts too, and different cultures like the Dogon tribe, right? Speaking of the Nomos coming from the North Star, right? Um, so it's pretty deep when we have to think about alien abduction, and a lot of people like within that movie, The Fourth Kind, like some people don't realize that when you study hypnosis, right, you can tap into your subconscious mind. So it's funny how the brain works because you have to understand how your brain operates. It's a machine, right? It's a computer. So sometimes, like every dream you have, you will remember it, but it will be stored in somewhere, but you can't catch it right at that point. And then you have certain information and memory that is, you know, could be stored there for many years, like times when it was your birthday or when you got married, you know, 30, 40 years from now, you can always remember when you got married. It's a memory that you will always hold on to. But then you have certain other memories the brain doesn't hold on to it. Long-term memory, short-term memory. I don't mean to get too scientific, but I'm trying to break this down. So when you have certain experiences, um, those short-term memories could be stored in there, but you can't really remember at that time. You ever had an experience that you might seen something or done something and it might trigger your memory of a dream. So that's dealing with that short-term memory that's stored into your memory bank. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you might experience something and then be like, oh yeah, this reminded me of the dream I had last night. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So then it'll come back. So I mean, there's many theories when dealing with alien abduction, but like back to my experience, I mean, I've always felt like I've been abducted, and I question that. You know, just just looking at the experiences that I had, um, to where I used to be and to where I'm at now in my life. Um, just many things that I experienced, the things that I've seen, right? And this is something that no one can take that away from. Can't take that away from me. Is that it was just powerful experiences, and I'm still to this day having powerful experiences, and it's amazing. But my experiences usually, well, I started thinking about the abduction when I saw that movie, The Dark Skies, and I think I mentioned it in one of my astral traveling videos. The Dark Skies. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie. And I've been experiencing astral traveling, for many years. So it was just weird that I would have these experiences with these shadow beings over me, body paralyzed, can't move, full of fear, you know what I'm saying? And one day I just basically changed. I kind of changed the way I saw life, the way I started changing when dealing with just knowledge. Like certain things triggered in me, and then I just became like this different person. You know what I'm saying? For those that know me for many years, they can contest to that, because as many times my friends have been like, yo, you different. And it's not nothing like I'm different in a weird way. Like, man, it's like, yo, you've been acting weird. Like, it's nothing like that. I just became more positive. I became more positive and just and became more spiritual, and just always want to talk about spirituality. Like, it was just something triggered in me, and I just kept going, and the ball kept rolling. The more I kept diving deep into it, and I always thought about the experiences that I had, like dealing with astral traveling. Did that have to do something with it, and how it could tie into alien abduction? Because my experiences of seeing these three beings, and there was always three shadow beings. So when I saw the movie The Dark Skies, the same thing was happening to the little boy in the movie. And there was many scenes that you see the aliens hover, standing over him, over his bed, and there was three. So that's what made me, that sparked that idea to me, to be like, oh, what if I've been abducted? You know what I'm saying? So I know it sounds crazy, but it's just like I said, these are my experiences, and I'm questioning it. And sometimes other people out there had similar experiences, or actually felt that they've been abducted. Understand what I'm saying? So yeah, and like even in my last experience with at my last astral traveling experience video that I just did, I spoke about how I saw these arms like over me, right? And I've always had those type of experiences that you can barely see, and there's something in your room. You're very conscious. You know what I'm saying? And you just see these arms, or sometimes you might feel them. You know, I felt, grabbing my arm, my leg, and it felt cold, right? So those experiences, I would always, take with me and always question it, but it's never been like this is what it is. And I'm not saying I have been abducted by aliens, but I'm just comparing my experiences to what is what is told and what is known when dealing with this subject. I'm just trying to relate to it, dealing with astral traveling and dreams, right? Because that's what they always, most of the victims, they always say it felt like a dream. It felt like it wasn't real. But then they might wake up the next day and they might have certain marks on their body. And I'm not gonna say that I've woke up with that experience with having marks on me, because I haven't. I'm not gonna say I have. I haven't. That I never experienced. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So even like touching on aliens, like, and it's always like the description of the bug eyes, right? Some of them are short, real slender. Some of them are tall. Like, those are always like the description of the alien entities that people be having. And like I said, in one of my astral traveling experiences, I said I got a good look at the shadow beings. They was like right next to my bed, and as I'm separated, and it's kind of like I said, this information is, it might be too deep for some individuals, right? But when I actually looked at the shadow beings and I got a good look, and I always said to myself, they look like the gray aliens. And it was just something that always played in my head, like, have I been abducted, by extraterrestrials or beings, right? And it's crazy, because it's always, everybody has that experience describe these beings the same way. In my experience, most of the times it was appeared as a shadow. So, and there was always three of them. There was one really small, one mid-size, and one tall, skinny one. And that's what the thing is, like, when you see these drawings of these people experiences, it's like it's the same thing. It's the same description, right? And like I said, when you think about these beings, we have to question if they really do exist, where are they from? Many people believe that they are here and they always been here. So there's many theories and many good, solid, things out there that could be facts and proof, and it'll really open your mind to this, to other information. You got to be open-minded when you talk about these subjects. So these beings, you think about it, if they from another galaxy or so, or out of space somewhere else, and of course, yeah, so they might look a little different, right? So when you think about the study, when you're dealing with the astronauts, when the astronauts are outside of the Earth's atmosphere, their body starts to change, right? Their body starts to change in many ways. Your body chemicals, because you're not dealing with gravity, right? You're outside of gravity. So once you're outside of gravity, your form will start to change, right? So when you look at these alien beings with their description, they have eyes like us, they're just bigger. They have a mouth just like us, but it might be a slit. This is a description that you normally hear about. You know what I'm saying? No nose. It's like two holes, right? So when you think about our physical body and how it's structured and designed due to this atmosphere and our surroundings that we in, right? That's why when you go into Asians have slanted eyes due to the high altitudes that's in China, the different climate, they develop the slit in the eye. Or also in Africa when you're dealing with the sand bush tribe. So, dealing with winds and sand through many years of evolving, you'll have these features. So astronauts out in space, basically their body starts changing when you outside of gravity for a long period of times. So what if these beings are from, now we question, right? What if these beings are from another planet, you know, and of course, due to their environment and their surroundings, is the reason why their physical frame is shaped the way it is to suit their surroundings, right? Or another theory, let's question is, what if, what if they are, what if they were from here, millions of years ago, and they lived on this planet, and they left this planet due to knowing that this planet was going to come to a destruction, right? So now we all know that it can be proven that this planet that we're on right now has been through many catastrophic events, right? That wiped out many living entities that's living on this planet. For example, the dinosaurs, right? We don't see them no more, but they ruled this planet for thousands and thousands of years. So what if there was beings on this planet, right, that gained the knowledge that where we at right now, right, even more? And we have evidence of ancient civilizations that we still can't understand how they did things to this day. What if they left this planet, right, to escape the destruction? And ours being outside of Earth's gravity, now you're not considered an Earthling, right? Because we are beings from Earth, we are Earthlings. So if you living outside of Earth for a long period of time, you're not considered an Earthling no more, right? Because now your body starts changing. So what if these, shadow beings or entities or aliens that we see are just us evolved, right? What if we are part of the family, right? That's another theory when you're dealing with aliens, right? They speak of that they are our family, they are our creators, we are related, we all related, right? So these are many things that cross my mind, and I'm pretty sure it probably crossed yours as well. And you always question: are aliens real? Do they exist? Are alien abductions real? And then you have to ask yourself and question yourself: have I been abducted? Right? Or maybe you have and you just can't remember. You know. So that's something we all gotta question. It's a real deep topic. And I've always wanted to touch on it, but sometimes some people just ain't ready for that type of conversation. They're very immature when it comes to intellect conversations. So, like, yeah, I mean, even with my actual travel experience, I've had experience one time that I couldn't move, whatever, and I felt a real sharp object entering my back, and the pain was excruciating. Like I've had other experiences of my leg being in that state of sleep paralysis and feeling something in the room and seeing shadow and then can't move, barely can see, and felt a sharp pain in my leg. Um, and even this morning, I woke up and I remember last night, I just felt really weird last night. And that's why I woke up this morning like, man, I gotta talk about this, right? Let's open this book, let's open up this conversation, you know. And if you got any comments, hit me up on the comment about or any information you got or even your experience or if you ever had that experience, right? So it's real deep, man. It's a real deep, deep discussion. And it just ties into how everything is just connected, right? Because we always say we're never going to find alien life like us out there in the universe, but people don't understand, don't realize, like the most amazing living thing on this planet right now is microbes, microorganisms. Okay, the most amazing. They live and survive everywhere on this planet through all sorts of harsh climates, toxic that's spewing from the Earth's crust, lava. There's bacteria, living organisms living there and feeding and eating, right? So I'm pretty sure that in this vast universe that we live in, if you think about the stars and all that, and how many planets is out there, we done found hundreds of Earth-like planets already. So I'm pretty sure that it's probably not the aliens that we're thinking about, the ones we see on the movies, or I could be wrong. We have to question that. But I know for sure that there's microscopic organisms living on other planets. That's really close by to us. Even, Mars, right? Venus. Or I'm not even talking about outside of our own solar system. Within our own solar system, I'm pretty sure there's microscopic uh, living entities living in these planets. Even Titan, right? We even us Earthlings are sending a probe out there to the Titan. They really believe that we can live on that planet, right? It's pretty crazy that most of these things that we see in movies, it just be thoughts, right? It just be like what ifs. And then as time goes on, it's like I don't think people realize that everything that was in the movies is pretty much existing now. So if you go back when the TV first came out and you saw certain movies of the first superheroes and like alien movies and stuff like that, or even technologies dealing with Star Trek and stuff like that, this stuff is existing now. So we have to think about that. That's something we got to question. So just the thought of us living on another planet, who say we haven't done that already, right? It's just many things that we can question, But like I said, do the research, look up the information for yourself, or even just question your experiences and ask yourself, have I been abducted, right? And it's funny because I got this joke from my friend, and it was like, and it has to do with like I say, if you watch the movie The Dark Skies, like it's a real trippy movie, it's kind of scary. So my friend has sent me this joke, and it was like, oh, if you're very depressed, and you feel alone, watch a horror movie. You won't feel like you're by yourself, and your depression will go away, right? So so watch those movies, The Dark Skies, Fire in the Sky, The Fourth Kind. Those are real deep movies, And like in The Fourth Kind, it's like basically like documented on a true event. So that's what makes it more like, scary. But this information can be scary. This information and my experiences, that what I experienced was very scary. You know what I'm saying? So it's something you just gotta live with, especially when you're at that level of having these experiences all the time. It's just something you're gonna have to get used to. So if y'all plan on opening up your third eye, just remember that this is the type of information that you're gonna be experiencing, right? So like I said, my experiences when I witnessed UFOs and extraterrestrials, it was always on the fourth dimension. When I astral travel, I separate. My energy body separates from this physical shell, and I'm able to enter another dimension. And when I had these experiences, like I said, I saw ships flying. I've seen, and many times, like, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen beings that look like felines, right? And when I did my research, they're called the Lyrians. The Lyrians. In ancient Egypt, you would have the deity with the cat head.